Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Friday. I think it's Friday. Is it Friday? It is Friday. Awesome. This is where the original happy thing came from in my life. Happy Friday. My husband, probably a couple years before he and I started dating, every so often, every few months or so, he would message me on Friday mornings and say happy Friday. And so that's where I got it from. But now I like to say every day is happy, whatever day it is, because it just reminds people to be happy, like happy Friday. Okay. Welcome back. My name is Heather Hope and this is the Inspired Entrepreneur. Okay, so I have been getting so much feedback this week from people who've been buying my books, and I'm so happy. It's really cool. I had we did our last group coaching call on Wednesday, in my Soul Line Business Academy. Our very last one. I have closed down the program, and I'm going to turn the program into my next book. So you guys have been hearing about it. Excuse me. And so I was on the call, and two of my clients in that group told me that they're reading the book, and it's one of those books that they are very able to read, to like get engaged, and because it's so easy to read, because these days are so short, that it becomes really easy to read. And so that means that they are reading it more, which is really cool, because when you write a book, you want people to read it. And if it's like too dense or too big, or there's not enough white space and chapters are way too long, that sort of thing, you know what I mean? It gets to be you get kind of bogged down sometimes if it's not truly the most fascinating thing you've ever read, right? So anyway, so I was happy to hear that. So many times, that call was 2.5 hours, and so many times I referred back to the journal. I can't even tell you. It just gets back to the basics, and that's the reason why I put the journal together, is because I really wanted to help people just get back to the basics. Because I said, you don't really need to know everything that I've sat here and spoke about for the last 1.5 years to really manifest anything. All you need to do is reduce resistance and focus on what you want. Like that's it. And so the journal helps you stay focused. It helps you stay on track with meditating every day. And it helps you to remember to visualize what you want. And it helps you to write down what you want, like to write down that vision. So it's just a guide to keep you going in that direction. So it's all about reducing resistance and focusing on what you want. That's it, period. That's it. The end of story. That's all you have to do. You never have to do anything else other than that. For the most part, you know what I mean? Like, to make things really easy, just do that. Honestly, you don't have to dig into everything. You can if you're truly fascinated, and I think it's really cool too. So, okay, let's jump into today. Today is December 18th. I am so thrilled to be close to January for many reasons, but one in particular is that I use my Google Docs still to read my book, for you guys. And sometimes when my computer restarts, my Google Doc starts back in January, and I'm like, and I have to scroll all the way down because, it's a lot of pages. So that's just one tiny little thing that I can't wait to just start at January. So this one's today's, if I could talk, that would be wonderful. That's going to start being, I noticed it on my call this week that I was just stumbling over words, and it was just interesting. It's not usually how I speak. So from now on, when I jump on a recording or a call, I'm going to set the intention that I'm going to speak very clearly and very coherently would be wonderful. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so today's message is a direct quote from Abraham Hicks. In this one, we're going to dig into a little bit because it's so good. And I remember the recording that I got this quote from, or got this actual statement from. Okay, here it is. Big thinkers better get lined up with source energy. That's it. I pulled it from a audio like months and months and months ago, maybe last year. There's an audio at the very end of it. I shared it with everybody I could think of at that time when I heard it because it was so powerful. It's like the last minute and a half or something of the video. He dives into this, and it's just truly really cool. Okay, so what do they mean? Big thinkers better get lined up with source energy. So if you have big, like we're talking, well, it really doesn't matter, but we're going to use examples of like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, all these big, like Bill Gates is a big one. If you haven't seen The Big Brain, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I saw it a few months ago and I thought it was really good. About how he works and what he does and how he spends his time and how he thinks about things and reads constantly. Anyway, I'm not saying I'm a fan of his. I don't know what the deal is with people not liking him. I'm not into that, but I did watch that. It's a 3-part series and I saw it on Netflix and to me, it was fascinating. Probably the first one was the most fascinating. Okay. Big thinkers. So if you have big ideas, the only way that those big ideas, think about Elon Musk, think about what he has been doing. Think about, he has SpaceX. Think about he sent people to space. Think about the enormous things that he has done. He's like my age. Maybe he's a little bit younger, but you know what I mean? Like, think about the big people, the big thinkers of the world. I think that's what I have the video called. It's on it's on this channel, on the Inspired Entrepreneur YouTube channel. It's others. I think it's the big thinkers of the world or something like that. The big brains of the world. Not that they know it or not, but they line up with source energy. How do you line up with source energy? You focus on what it is that you want. So the big thinkers who actually make things happen, like create spaceships that go into space and do all these things, right? All of these big people, they focused on their vision. Literally my journal, right? Okay, here we go. They focused on their vision and they did not sit in their house and think, who am I to do this? Maybe they did a long time ago, but you know what I mean? They don't make excuses. They don't say, well, I'm just too busy to do that, or I've got this, or I've got that, or I can't do that, or I'm not smart enough, or blah, 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 right? They don't do any of that. That's what the big people do. They believe in the vision. You don't necessarily need to believe in yourself so much as believing in the vision or focusing on the vision. So in the recording that I got this from, they talk about, who was it? Well, they say like scientists could have more breakthroughs, but the reason why they do have breakthroughs in science and medicine is because, and everybody else who has breakthroughs and creates these things that haven't been created before, is because they have a soft enough belief in the vision, like soft enough belief. Like they have like that hope. It's more than hope, right? Hope is like 6 on this emotional guidance scale, but they have that soft belief. Like they're not doubting it. They're very, very, very strongly hopeful at the very least that what they're thinking of is going to come true. So they have the soft enough belief, but they also have a team of people around them. These are the scientists. These are the big brains. This is Elon Musk, and I'll tell you in a second about that. But they have enough people around them working on it that are all focused in the same direction. So there's like kind of that masterminding type of energy. that Napoleon Hill talks about in his books. It's like that collective thoughts. Now, I tell my clients all the time, let's continue focusing on what we want. Let's continue focusing on the vision. Like if you want to travel next year, let's continue with the vision and the positive thoughts of traveling next year. Just as an example, because if we just sit and think of all of the bad things that are going on, or the lack of travel, or not being able to do anything, right? Not being able to leave our house, that's just sending those thoughts out there that contribute to that. So, as a collective in this world, the collective is very powerful. So, whatever the collective is, that's what we're going to get. So, the more positive thoughts that you can think, the better for all of us included. So, one of the things, it was something after, I think after one of his launches or something. This is Elon Musk. I had heard that right afterwards, he sent out a email to his staff saying, "Okay, well, we got this done. Now we are shooting for the moon or the Mars or something like that." I don't know the exact details, but this is what he did. As soon as like the next day after that initial launch, he guided his staff to his next vision of like, this is where we're going next. Put all your focus on this. That's what he said. We're putting all of our focus on, I think it was Mars. Don't quote me on this. I don't know. But, and I'm sitting here like, you're so brilliant. It's so funny because I know after, learning from Abraham, I'm like, this is how they're doing it. Because they're connected, right? Elon Musk is connected to Source. We all are, right? So he's getting these ideas just like you and I do. He's actually focusing enough on them to create them. And the more he creates, right? He's on this enormous forward momentum. Like in the past year, just his income alone, like he made like another mini billion, or a lot of money, like just, I don't know, 10x his net worth or something, like insane amounts of money, lots of money. So in 1 year. So that's what they do. So the quote is, big thinkers better get lined up with source energy, because if you don't, you're not going to achieve the big things that you are thinking of. You have to get lined up. And that all that is focusing on your vision enough to create momentum. And then more and more momentum. Once momentum starts getting built up, everything becomes a bit easier, and then you just keep focusing. It's like priming the pump. I used to say that all the time last year. I did it for months and months to build my audience on the Millionaire Manifester. I was priming the pump daily in my journal, talking about, reaching thousands of people and doing all of this. And I primed the pump so well that my page grew so quickly. And my page grew so quickly because I was tapped in, and I would get an idea and I would follow through, and then I would get hundreds of more people following me. So that's that. And eventually I just kind of fizzled out on that, and I focused on the next thing, and grew that, focused on the next thing, grew that. And, because not everything is all that exciting all the time. So, it is what it is. So I don't even really focus much on the Millionaire Manifestor. I may, because it's kind of in the back of my mind lately. In fact, last night, since I closed or had our last call this week in our group, I started being inspired. Like right before the call, I was feeling inspired to revive my regular group, my free group on Facebook. So right now we have 3,600 people in there. And I got to tell you, it grew so fast last summer, like 2019, because the Millionaire Manifestor grew. And then that just poured right into my group, where I was getting about 50 new people a day in that group. And so then eventually I got fizzled out on that and moved on to the next thing, grew that. And so now I look back and I've got lots of things that I've grown, and then kind of like it's just sitting there, kind of not, just kind of steady. Everything's steady. All my pages are steady. My group is steady, and kind of just, I didn't close anything. I didn't shut anything down because I just kind of had a feeling that maybe one day I will be interested in it for some reason, right? Down the road. We don't know the full plan. We don't know the path. Like, I'm just following what feels good. So I just, I accepted like 175 people into the group yesterday and announced that I might be doing some Facebook Lives in there. And I might be doing some Facebook Lives on my business pages, my Heather Hope and the Millionaire Manifester. So I'm just kind of playing it by ear, doing it for fun, doing it kind of, so you can actually see my books, you can see me, you can ask me questions, whatever. And so I'm putting it out there because I'm feeling a little inspired by it. So there you go. So the group on Facebook, if you want to join us, is called The Inspired Entrepreneur by Heather Hope. So original, right? It's been named so many things. I've changed names all the time, like just whatever feels like the next thing. So remember, if you have big ideas, get lined up with them. Allow source energy to help you get there. Because if you don't, if you sit around and think, oh, I can't do it, I'm not capable, I'm not smart enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, you're not lined up, and it's never going to happen. It will not happen if you're thinking like that. So all you have to do is release resistance, right? Through meditation, first and foremost, and from having fun, chilling out, relaxing, relaxing your thoughts, relaxing your body, things like that. And then focusing on what it is. Focus on the vision and take out the judgment. Focus on what it is that, just focus on the vision. And if negative thoughts start popping in, change the subject. It's time to move on to something else, because you don't want to put any negative energy or negative thoughts toward the things that are important to you. If you start feeling that way about something, you have to change the subject, because you're going to screw it all up, basically. All you want is positive energy towards the things that you want. And the minute that you start getting snarky about something, get off the subject. Go do something else. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have an amazing rest of your Friday, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.